10 minutes before the wedding, Zhu Wanwan was still wiping the blood from the corner of her mouth in the dressing room. Her adoptive mother Zhu An had slapped her with all her strength, leaving a small cut on her left cheek oozing blood beads, which she pressed back hard. The red stain spreading on her white veiled glove was like a plum petal in the snow. The door was pushed open, and Julan's voice was filled with malice. "Bitch, it's time to go on stage. It's your blessing to marry in place of your sister. That cripple won't live past 30. But H.E.S. still from the Lin family anyway." Zuan stood up, the ill-fitting wedding dress constricting her breathing. This was originally the size of the fake daughter Zhu Auru. She walked past Julian. She softly called out Mom, and while Juliet was in a daze, she added, "Thank you for acting for 18 years. Before Julian could react, she pushed open the door of the banquet hall, and the eyes of the guests all over the hall fell on her like searchlights, mixed with whispers and snickers, all watching the joke of the Zhu family's real daughter marrying a cripple in place of the fake one. The first person Zhu Wanwan saw was Zhu Auru, who was holding Gu Yue Chang's arm. Wearing a champagne-colored dress more dazzling than her, the bride. Her eyes looking at Zhu Wanwan were full of the complacency of a winner. "Sister, the wedding dress doesn't fit. Anyway, he might not even be able to see it." Suppressed laughter broke out around them. Gu Yue Chang lowered his head to comfort Zhu Auru, then looked up at Zhu Wanwan and said, "Wanwan, I'm sorry. I've always loved Auru. You're just a substitute." Zhu Wanwan thought back to 3 months ago, when this man squatted at the door of the convenience store where she worked, holding a cup of hot milk tea and saying he would love her for a lifetime. Now that she saw through his hypocrisy, she made no excuse. Her eyes passed over the two of them and fell on the man in the wheelchair at the end of the red carpet. Lin Zayuan, the legendary disabled, violent-tempered man of the Lin family who was said to not live past 30. She walked step by step down the red carpet, stepping over the whispers, and stopped in front of Lin Zayuan. His hands had well-defined knuckles, and his side profile was sharp. When he looked up, his gaze first fell on the wound at the corner of her mouth and lingered for half a second. As the MC recited the vows, Lin Zayuan suddenly raised his hand, his thumb gently brushing the bloodstain on her mouth. His voice was not loud, but it instantly silenced the entire banquet hall. "Who hit you? Write it down, so when my wife wants to fight back, she'll know where to start." The audience erupted in an uproar. Zhu Arou's smile froze on her face, and Julan was also stunned, looking at the man in front of her. Chill voice in Zhu Wanwan's heart sounded. The knife she had been looking for 3 months had come to her on its own. In the wedding car, Lin Zayuan accurately recounted her past, being swapped at birth, growing up at the bottom of society, being admitted to a top university, working to make a living, secretly collecting evidence of Zhu Auru and her mother transferring assets, and even knowing that the coma of her biological parents was not an accident. "You weren't forced to marry me, you took the initiative to enter this game." Lin Zayuan turned to look at her. "I've been investigating you for 3 months to confirm if you're the partner I'm looking for. I'll help you take revenge, and you'll help me close the net. Deal?" Zhu Wanwan watched as he was skillfully helped into the wheelchair, suddenly realizing that he was also acting. She smiled and replied, "Deal." In the study of the old mansion, 2 agreements were placed on the table: a marital property agreement and a cooperation agreement. Lin Zayuan told her that Gu Yue Chang was the illegitimate son of Gu Huiyuan, who had sneaked into the Zhu family to infiltrate the Lin group. He was kept to catch the people behind him. And Liu Feng, Zhu Lan's best friend, was the murderer who killed his mother. His mother did not die of illness, but was slowly poisoned for 3 years. Zhu Wanwan signed her name, agreeing that Zhu Lan would be hers to deal with, and Liu Feng would be Lin Zayuan's. Before leaving, Lin Zayuan suddenly said, "The marriage registration is real. I have no intention of getting a divorce." The next day, the assistant brought the surveillance footage of the wedding, which recorded Zhu Lan slapping her from all angles. Zhu Wanwan knew that from that day on, she was no longer fighting alone. 3 days later, they returned to the Zhu family's home for the post-wedding visit. The Zhu family was decorated with lanterns and colored streamers, and the affectionate appearance of Zhu Rro and Gu Yuecheng was dazzling. Gu Yuecheng stretched out his hand to Lin Ziyuan in a condescending manner, his tone full of contempt. But Lin Ziyuan ignored him and naturally held Zhu Wanwan's hand. Wanwan seemed thirsty. Just as Zhu Rro was secretly complacent. Several uniformed officers walked in and took Gu Yuecheng away on suspicion of financial fraud. When Gu Yuecheng passed Zhu Wanwan, he whispered to question if she had done it. Zhu Wanwan replied calmly, "I accept the sorry you said. Next time, say it somewhere else." After the banquet, Zhu Lan, with a livid face, questioned Zhu Wanwan in the inner hall, but Lin Ziyuan spoke first. His wheelchair slid in front of Zhu Lan. "You were the last person my mother saw before she died, weren't you?" As soon as he finished speaking, he slowly stood up. He was not disabled at all. He had been pretending for 2 years, just waiting for the day to close the net. Zhu Wanwan took out the evidence of asset transfer and gave Zhu and 2 days to return the money, otherwise she would call the police. That night, the two stood in front of the rose garden of the old mansion. Under the moonlight, the rose vines were angled, with more thorns than flowers. Lin Ziyuan said he had been waiting for this day for 3 years. Since the day his mother was buried, Zhu Wanwan replied softly that she had been waiting for 18 years. Since the day she found out she was not Zhu Lan's biological daughter. She proposed going to the nursing home together in 3 days, and Lin Ziyuan did not ask more questions, only gently plucking a rose petal from her hair, as tender as when he wiped the blood from the corner of her mouth on the wedding night. The private nursing home was built on a mountain, and Zhu Lan's car was already parked at the door. Zhu Wanwan followed her into the ward and saw her biological parents, who had been in a coma for 18 years. Her mother's facial features were similar to hers, and her father had great amples and frowned tightly. When Zhu Lan saw them, she froze instantly. Zhu Wanwan pressed her to ask what she said to her mother every month when she came here. Zhu Lan smiled distorted lie. "I said, your daughter is suffering in place of my daughter." At that moment, Lin Ziyuan walked in. Standing at the door backlit by the light, he was like an unsheathed knife. "What was the last thing my mother said to you before she died?" Zhu Lan broke down in tears and told the truth before her death. Zhu Wanwan's mother had said she did not blame her, but she hated his mother for stealing the man she loved, and hated her for being so magnanimous even until death. Lin Ziyuan interrupted her, told her where Liu Fang was hiding, and turned to go see the person who had killed his mother. Liu Fang was well-maintained, but her face turned pale instantly when she saw Lin Ziyuan standing. Lin Ziyuan calmly exposed the truth. She had poisoned his mother for Zhu Lan for 3 years, but she did not know that 30 years ago, Zhu Lan had taken a break-up fee from the Lin family and left voluntarily. The so-called revenge was just Zhu Lan's greed at work. Liu Feng completely collapsed and finally confessed her crime. 3 days later, after finishing her statement at the police station, Zhu Wanwan saw Lin Ziyuan waiting for her in the corridor. She suddenly said, "You're not the Zhu family's biological daughter." Zhu Lan made a mistake when she swapped the children. She thought I was Lin Zhanghong's illegitimate daughter, and her 30 years of revenge was just a joke. Lin Ziyuan walked into the shadow and looked at her. "It doesn't matter whose daughter you are, what matters is who you are." He had long found out everything, but he waited for her to find the answer herself. At that moment, the assistant sent a message saying that Z's mother had woken up. In the ward, mother and daughter recognized each other. Z's mother held Zhu Wanwan's hand and cried, and Zhu Wanwan's emotions suppressed for 18 years finally erupted, tears streaming down her face. Lin Ziyuan stood at the door, watched this scene, and quietly turned around. The assistant's message told him that Gu Huiyuan had been arrested while trying to leave the country. A month later, the first trial of the case opened. Zhu Lan and Liu Fang were sentenced to life imprisonment, Gu Yuecheng to 20 years, and Zhu Rro to 12 years. When Zhu Lan passed Zhu Wanwan, she asked when she had started to suspect her. Zhu Wanwan said 3 days after being recognized. The way you called me Wan was as fake as the way my adoptive mother used to call me. Gu Yue Cheng tried to defend himself, but Su Wan replied calmly, it doesn't matter if it's true or false, what matters is that you chose to be my enemy. After the verdict was announced, Su Wan walked out of the court. In late autumn, ginkgo leaves fell on her. Lin Ziyuan stood at the bottom of the steps, took out a wooden box containing a plain silver ring, the one from the wedding. Doesn't count, this one is my choice. Su Wan. I'm chasing you, starting from scratch. Su Wan held his hand and said softly, no need to chase. I'm right here. 3 months later, on New Year's Eve, the old mansion was brightly lit. Sus' mother was cooking in the kitchen. Sus' father was playing chess with Lin Jiayuan in a wheelchair. And laughter filled the room. Zhu Wanwan leaned against the doorframe, watching the snow outside fall on the rose vines, recalling the night of their wedding when Lin Ziyuan wiped the blood from the corner of her mouth. She had originally thought she was looking for a knife, but later realized that what she had found was someone willing to sheath the knife for her. The New Year's Eve bell rang, the snow fell silently, and the warmth in the room was the peace she had finally gained after 18 years.